God's promises in times of desertion. Have you ever had the wind knocked out of you? Maybe when you were a child, a bully came up to you and hit you in the stomach, leaving you unable to breathe. It is a terrifying feeling. Sometimes things happen to us that leave us feeling helpless and like we're going to die. And sometimes these things are physical events, and sometimes they are emotional. Sometimes we're caught off guard and find ourselves deserted and abandoned by our very own family. Everything around us seems to be falling apart. It is in these times that God has promised us in times of desertion to defend us, to protect us, and to provide for us. Listen to what King David wrote when he was fleeing from his own son, Absalom. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter, my head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. I laid down and slept. I awakened, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, and save me, my God. For thou hast smitten all my enemies on the cheekbone, and you've broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. God's promises in times of desertion are for all of us who have suffered at the hands of those around us. It does not matter if it was your husband who deserted you. It does not matter if it was your wife who deserted you. It does not matter if it was your parents who deserted you. The promises of God in your times of desertion are true, and you can count on Jesus to do what he has promised he would do. I want you to close your eyes, if you can, and just listen to some of these promises. Isaiah 62, verse 4. There shall no more be termed thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hephzibah, which translated means my delight is in her, and thy land Beulah, which translated means to marry. For the Lord delights in thee, and thy land shall be married. Isaiah 62, verse 4. Isaiah 49, verses 15 and 16. Can a woman forget her suckling child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee, I have marked thee, you, on the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me. Isaiah 49, 15 and 16. Deuteronomy 31, 6. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that does go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Deuteronomy 31:6. In Psalm 68, 4, 5, and 6, it tells us, sing unto God, sing praises to his name. Extol him that rides upon the heavens by his name, Yah, and rejoice before him. A father of the fatherless, a judge of the widows, is God in his holy habitation. God sets the solitary in families. He brings out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. Psalm 68, 4-6. And in Proverbs chapter 23, verses 10 and 11, we find a promise of protection. It says, remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is mighty. He shall plead their cause with thee. Proverbs 23, verses 10 and 11. In Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 11. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive. And let the widows trust in me. Jeremiah 49:11. Deuteronomy 10:17 and 18 says, for the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regards not persons, nor takes reward. He does execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loves the stranger in giving him food and raiment. Deuteronomy 10:17 and 18. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 6 and 7 tells us, humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. 1 Peter 5, 6 and 7. In Psalms 37, verses 23, 24, and 25, says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I have been young, and now I'm old, and yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. Psalms 37, 23, 24, and 20. Psalms 27, verse 10. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Psalms 27, 10. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 29 to 31. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shall be obedient unto his voice, for the Lord thy God is a merciful God, he will not forsake thee, nor destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers which he swore unto them. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 29 to 31. Isaiah 41:17 says, when the poor and the needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. Isaiah 41, 17. In Psalm 43, verses 4 and 5, then will I go into the altar of God, unto God my exceeding joy. Yea, upon the harp will I praise thee, O God, my God. Why art thou cast down, O my soul, and why art thou disquieted within me? Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. Psalms 43, verses 4 and 5. 1 Samuel 12:22 assures us that the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it has pleased the Lord to make you his people. 1 Samuel 12:22. Over in Romans 8:31, what shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. Jeremiah 33:3. Call unto me, and I will answer you, and I will show you great and mighty things which you do not know. Jeremiah 33. Without a doubt, desertion is one of the hurtful experiences that we could ever go through. One of the most hurtful experiences we could ever. It is something that is hard to share with others, and it is often difficult to deal with, even in the church. But God's promises in times of desertion are for all of us who have suffered at the hands of those around us. It does not matter if it was your husband who deserted you and left you with the children. It does not matter if it was your wife who deserted you and took off with your best friend. It does not matter if it was your parent who deserted you and left you alone in a strange place. The promises of God in your times of desertion are true, and you can count on Jesus to do what he has promised he would do, because he is not a man that he should. So what does matter is that you call out to the Lord, ask him to help you, and then trust him to do what he has promised he will do. I can personally testify and tell you that our God is faithful, and that I know from first-hand experiences that this is all true, and that the Lord will never forsake you. He will never leave you, nor will he ever mistreat you. I'm Pastor Steve, and our church is La Viña de Gracia in La Caleta, Colombia. We invite you to join us if you can as we continue in our services and worship time. So until next time, may the Lord richly bless you, prosper you, and keep you safe as you follow hard after him. And we'll see you next time. God bless.